Hey everybody, welcome back to the Marceline Depot. Hello Gypsy. Cattail cameo.
You've now met one of our cat's tails.
We thought tonight we would talk to you guys about the kind of different take we're doing on an advent calendar this year with our kids.
Yeah, so, and I guess to give credit where it's due, it started with, we were watching an episode of Crispy S'more, which if you haven't seen their channel, you should absolutely check it out. It's amazing. And they do Vlogmas, which we are not nearly ambitious enough to do, with a vlog a day through Christmas. And in the past, they've always done an advent calendar that they open every day through Vlogmas. And this year they decided to do something a little different, where instead of buying a traditional advent calendar, they got each other little gifts, like silly little gifts every day. They had to have like a budget of $1, I think, for each item. And it was just really cool to see the things that they came up with each other to make each other smile, how they worked within the budget. It's been a lot of fun to watch. And we decided that it was a really great idea to kind of take, like we love doing the advent calendar every year, but to make it somehow more engaging for our kids. For us to turn it into an experience, so rather than just
a few minutes and a couple chocolates at the end of each day kind of thing.
So this would be something that would create memories, hopefully. Something where we could make a point of having a new Christmas activity every single day. Full disclosure, there are days that we get busy and that we have had very slapdash thrown together things, or that our Christmas activity has been, we're all going to be really lazy and turn on the television and watch Christmas specials, which I think is still fantastic.
Specials.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band.
Always Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. And the Muppet Christmas Carol is the absolute best version of a Christmas Carol.
That's true.
If you're going to watch one Christmas Carol, Muppets. Totally Muppets. Hello again, Gypsy.
So we thought we would talk just a little bit about a few of the things that we've done that have been kind of fun. One of the things that we did when I was a kid, my mom and I did this thing where we made garland out of cranberries and popcorn that we had made, and we sat there for an entire evening putting it together. And so I really wanted to recreate that with our kids. Sadly, the night that we chose to do it, I ended up having to go to a city council meeting for the newspaper. But I was getting,
journalism is exciting
in a small town, yeah. But I was getting photo updates all night from Kara and the kids as they were putting it together.
It is an all-night activity. We use fresh cranberries and just plain white popcorn, like out of the bulk bag. Don't get the stuff with butter, kettle corn, or anything. It is a delicate process.
Yeah, the kids really brought this stuff to you as opposed to really putting it on the needle. You use a needle to go through. Needle
and sturdy thread, or you can use fishing line.
Yeah.
I just used some sturdy thread I had around. And it is an all-night process.
So, and we'll put in a picture of the kids with the garlands right here. And when we were done, we put it up on the tree. It has since come down because we discovered that apparently our cats like popcorn. It started with them eating some of the popcorn that fell while we were making the garlands. And then our youngest cat, Zoe, who's just on the floor there and refusing to come up, started climbing up the tree. She's never bothered the tree before, but she wanted to eat the popcorn. And then she couldn't get back down, so we just had a little cat head poking out of the tree.
Crying pathetically.
So the popcorn cranberry garland has come down. We think we might be able to like treat it with some sort of like citrus spray and she won't bother it, but we're not sure because we might just end up with soggy popcorn. So
yeah. She hasn't gone back up in the tree since we took the popcorn out either, so that was definitely what was luring her up there. And we were interrupted that night by what is becoming actually one of our favorite little Christmas things. We moved to the town we're in a little over
2 years
ago now. Or almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So last Christmas was our first Christmas here, And we did not know that every year the fire department here goes around to every neighborhood in town with Santa on top of a fire truck. And they play the sirens and everybody comes out and Santa waves to all the kids and throws candy. And they even have an online Santa tracker that lets you know where Santa is in town and what parts of town he'll be visiting.
Yeah, so there were times, it took a couple days for us to see him because he'd go we'd see the lights outside our window and we'd all kind of go, huh, is Santa coming? And then he would turn down another street. And then, so we had the Santa tracker out to try to keep track of where he was. The night we ended up seeing him, or that you guys ended up seeing him, he pulled into the neighborhood and then they had an emergency, and everybody had to leave.
And then they came back.
So, but we love that the fire department here does that. That's the Louisville Fire Department, just to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, it's so fun, and the kids love it. The first year, it scared the living daylights out of us. We didn't know it was coming. And
because they do blare
sudden,
the sirens and have the lights going.
And lights out front, and they're like pulling slowly in front of our home. And like Sean, I think one of the neighbors has a fire or maybe died. What's going on? And we run out, and it's Santa Claus. So now that we knew what was coming this year, it was great. We kind of waited. The kids are anticipating, is this the night Santa's coming to our neighborhood? Is this the night?
Yeah, and we'll put in a picture of, it's kind of hard to see because...
nighttime and camera and corralling two small children.
But we'll put in that picture here so you can see that. And it's just a really great tradition that I'm thrilled that they have. So that was the one night. One of the other nights, we won't fill in every night because like I said, some of them were just... we'll watch Muppet Christmas Carol, or tonight we drove around looking at Christmas lights and listening to Christmas carols, which is one of our favorite things to do every single year.
Yes.
And actually, we can put in a couple of the pictures here of some of the houses that we saw. This one house we've been going to for years, and it's Jeff and Peggy are the people who own the house, and every year they put out these train displays that run all over their front yard. And the whole villages that the trains go around, and then they've got a nativity scene set up and gifts that say things like forgiveness and love.
Peace and joy.
And it says the true gifts in front of it, and they stand out on their front lawn as people come and they hand out things like candy canes and talk to the families that come out. And it draws a huge crowd. They are in Coppell, so it's a city near us, but they can draw a few hundred in a night on a weekend.
Yeah, they said Saturday night they probably saw over 1,000 people this week,
so,
which is crazy. It's this little suburban side street. But it's always fun, and it's nice, and the kids look forward to it. We told the kids tonight we were going out to look at Christmas lights, and the very first thing our son said was, do we see the trains?
Yeah. And then we also went to... So I moved to this area when I was 8. And across town, there is a guy who, since the late 80s, has put a huge sleigh in his front yard, and every night through Christmas comes...
Yeah, and Santa comes and meets the kids.
Santa comes and meets the kids and asks what their wishes are, and has candy canes for them, and poses for pictures. We've got, the first time that we went with our youngest, we've got a picture of her, and she is just absolutely
not having it.
Screaming, crying on Santa's lap, and her brother is sitting next to her with a huge grin.
Tonight she was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But was willing to say that she wanted a doll. A big doll, not a baby doll.
Yes.
For Christmas.
Here's a picture of the kids with Santa, and I just think it's so amazing that they've had Santa there for...
so long now. I mean, there are parents now who went as kids to
I went as a kid, and now we're taking our kids, which I think is really cool. So this was our Advent activity tonight.
Yes.
We also... dried oranges that have now been hung up on our tree, and it made the whole house smell amazing, but...
It did start... Well, it didn't start a fire. Our oven, it turned out, was just at that point in its life where the heating element was going to snap and have a little fire and then give out and die on us. And it just happened to occur while we were in the middle of drying the oranges.
And so we're making these oranges and our oven kind of exploded. There was a loud buzz and the lights flickered and there was a flame inside. But the oranges came out great.
Yeah, the oranges were salvageable. They came out nice. They smelled nice. Oven was repaired fairly quickly. So.
And it's pretty easy. I mean, how do you do it?
You slice the oranges pretty thin. I would say no thicker than a 1/4 inch.
Here's an image of them right here.
And then you put them on the or directly on the oven rack at 200 degrees, or the lowest your oven will go, really. Ours, the lowest it'll go is 200 degrees. And it takes hours. It took ours about 4 hours. And I would flip them every once in a while to make sure they dried evenly on both sides.
So, and then I'm trying to think of what else we've done.
We've baked cookies.
Yeah. We made cookies together. I made the, cranberry shortbread cookies.
Orange shortbread. That was so good.
We went to Ice at the Gaylord, which if you ever get the chance to go, I don't know all the states that have it. It's an incredible experience where it's really just giant sculptures made of ice. But really, it's just been a very fun way to celebrate Advent. We'd love to hear from you. If you're watching, what are some of the Christmas traditions that you have? What have you done with your family? What adventures have you had? Let us know. Hopefully we'll hear from you because we love hearing people's stories and the things that they do that make the holidays special.
And maybe we can incorporate some of your traditions next year.
Yeah, we would love
our
that.
celebration.
So anyway, thank you for joining us again, and we will see you next week, and thanks for visiting the Marceline Depot.